Hi, thank you so much for taking a minute today to invest in kind of what's going on and how you can prepare yourself for this transition. I know that we are all in the midst of a really complicated week. What we've been doing here at the University Innovation Alliance is trying to elevate and surface experts in the field who are already supporting faculty and staff who are transitioning to distance teaching and learning, but we're trying to elevate them so they can scale their impact and get that advice out to more folks. And so today, I'm really delighted to bring to you another superstar from the University of Central Florida. We've reached out to all of our campuses, but frankly, everyone's been super overwhelmed, but we're really grateful for this small window of time. So this will be a very quick video. It is Dr. Alisha Janowsky, who is the Assistant Chair of the Psychology Department at UCF. Alisha, thank you so much for being here.
Sure, my pleasure.
So this week you are meeting and talking with a lot of folks who are going through this transition. If you had like 2 or 3 top pieces of advice that you are giving right now, what would you say that advice is?
So one, I would say be mindful of the fact that everyone is in this boat, including your students. So as overwhelmed as you are with your classes, they are equally as overwhelmed with theirs. And keeping that in mind, try to keep the transition as simple as possible. I think there's a big difference between I'm going to start teaching online my own online class and going to I have to kind of pull something together for 2 weeks, or it's changing every day how long you're going to be online. We were just told it would be the rest of the semester. So if you're looking at just that block, what is it you need for them to be able to access? What are their expectations based on what you've already gone through? And how can you do that to make your life simple also? So you're going to get all this technology thrown at you probably, like we're getting all this stuff about Zoom. But just pick the one thing that's going to be easy for you. You don't have to become a master of everything just because it's available. Think about how you can best get that information. And if you can, take advantage of the medium. The nice thing about online teaching is it can be very asynchronous. You can put the content up for your students and they can access it as they need to. So if you're going to be doing that, then you can keep in mind things like their schedules have totally flipped. Even though you might be used to teaching them 3 to 4:15 Tuesday, Thursday, that may not be the schedule they have at this point, right? They may have lost their jobs. They may be trying to grab another job. They may have their kids at home. They may have a snoring bulldog like I have here. They can have all kinds of things that are happening. And this gives them that flexibility that they might want. And it gives you a little bit of flexibility too.
I love it. That's super helpful. Yeah, I think if there was anything I could give everyone right now, it would be a whole lot more self-compassion, because the last thing that folks need to, is add the layers of anxiety, and students, compassion for our students, but also for ourselves as we're going through this. So that's helpful. So if I'm a faculty member and I'm in the middle of I've had day 1 of Zoom transition, what kinds of questions are you still hearing from folks that they're experiencing right now?
Most of the questions that I've had have been how to be as clear as possible to their students what it is they want. I think the keys with online teaching are consistency, organization, and being incredibly explicit and clear about what they should expect from you. If you decide that you want to use Zoom for lectures, consider, how large is your class? Is that really practical for you? UCF is quite large. So we actually have a limitation of 300 people on Zoom, but my class, for example, is 360. So that's not going to work, right? So I have to think about what that technology is going to be like. And it may be just, I'm going to have one day where I go over with you how this is going to be. You're going to see PowerPoint videos, you're going to see content online, you're going to take your test this way. And then that's the last time you're live with them, because the rest of it makes more sense to do in an asynchronous fashion. So I think what faculty have been saying to me is that they're a little bit overwhelmed by all the options, right? It's a lot of bells and whistles. I've always been a believer that you shouldn't let technology wag the dog, right? Just because it's cool doesn't mean that you actually have to do it that way. Think about what makes sense for you.
Okay, that's really great. So can you, while we wrap up, because I know we wanted to keep this super short, I want to honor your time. What are you hearing from students, for your students in particular? Anything? Yeah.
They're very scared, and they're scared on multiple levels, right? So they're scared about what's going on in the world. They're scared maybe about their own health or the health of their loved ones. They've been anxious about, I traveled for spring break and, I didn't decide to bring all of my class notes and books. And now I can't get back to campus to get my stuff or back home to get my things. So they're scared about the physical, and then also this increased anxiety of, I didn't want to take a class in this modality. I don't know what to expect from you anymore. I don't know how my grades are going to be impacted. And so I think they're feeling it in their real world lives. And then how is that going to bleed into their academic lives as well?
Yeah, no, I hear that. So do you have any prompts that you're recommending for faculty as they're bringing class together to kind of cultivate a sense of ease? I'm hearing, what's helping you today? Let's talk silver lining. What is something you're going to be able to do as a result of being contained in one place that you probably weren't going to be able to? Are there any other things that kind of can get people in that space of being a bit more as positive as possible?
I believe that it's important to be real with your students. You're going through it too. And to pretend that it's not impacting you every single moment of every single day isn't true, right? We're all feeling this intense, can I even walk outside to get the mail, feeling. So the more honest you are with them about what you're going through, the more they're going to feel that empathy back and forth with you, right? So we understand that this is what's going on. And there are some really nice things about online. Mm-hmm. All that information is there. You can want to come to class. Well, you don't have to. Here's the information. Right? Or, sometimes I talk really fast and now you're going to have it all written down or in a video that you can go back and review. So let's take advantage of it. And it'll be what it is. We're going to make it through it together and it's going to be okay.
Great.
I think the more you tell them it's going to be okay, they'll start to feel it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is super helpful. I want to also add, for those of you who are watching live, we know I have quite a few folks on here, that one thing that we've been experimenting with is Otter, which many folks are already familiar with, but allows you, it records what you're saying and it automatically transcribes it. You can get a free 600 minutes, I think is the first, just for signing up. So we've been using that on our team where we actually recorded a conversation and then it sends the transcript to everyone who was in that meeting. That's something you can also do for your students, but of course it's not perfect, right? AI is not that, it's not super perfect, but for students who are looking for a transcript of the lecture, this is another way that you can supplement. So for students who, if they can take a walk by themselves, socially distant, they could translate your online course into somewhat of a podcast version and be able to, check the notes afterwards. So that's something we just want to, that's something for us. But I would say, please comment below if you have other technology that you're experimenting with in this, moment in time that you're finding some promise that you hadn't tried before. I think we have to just set ourselves up as professionals in a community of practice to help support each other. So thank you, Alisha. Really appreciate you being here. Hope we can see your puppy. And the one last thing I wanted to do for folks who are on here is I want to introduce another member of Team UIA who will likely be, I'm going to start introducing more of our folks who are really the ones who run all of everything. And so that we can leverage this in a bigger way and be able to do more interviews to elevate more of the folks who are experts in the field. So I'm going to bring on Dr. Anna Drake-Warshaw. Hey, Anna, you got to get centered in there. Oh, here we go.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much, Alisha. It was great to hear from you. Really appreciate your expertise and so glad that you're supporting your students through this time.
And just so you all know, so folks on our team have been reaching out to the campuses to try not to overwhelm right now because it's just like too much going on. And Anna actually used to be the UIA fellow at the University of Central Florida before she became the director of partnerships, learning, and evaluation for UIA, which is what she does now. So she had special connections into UCF, and that's part of why we've had so many folks from UCF. She knew who the right folks were to reach out to. So you'll be seeing more of her soon. But again, Alisha, thank thank you so much for taking the time to share with the broader community what you're learning. And folks, if you're at home and you have someone who you think could also be able to provide some wisdom for the broader higher ed space, to be able to some advice, we're going to bring some new folks on that we just found on Twitter yesterday. Gentleman from Ohio State, pretty excited about that. So please comment below, share anything that's helping you, share technology that you're finding actually not that bad, and anyone who you think that we should be interviewing to bring some more insights. So otherwise, I will just say thanks everyone, and have as good of a day as you possibly can. I'll see you later.